Why having a positive work environment is key to keeping staff, and essentially why it could be a solution for the business that are having trouble keeping a full staff. If we are going to talk about a way to solve the issue in hiring and keeping staff, then we have to talk about what happened, which is COVID. Since returning to work after the pandemic in 2020, the reality that businesses are facing is the ability to keep the employees they are hiring to do a job, which is making them face another reality of people not settling for demanding toxic jobs for a paycheck anymore. Because most Americans were able to survive without a paycheck and without work, not to mention the high demand and competitive pay that competitors are offering to staff their own establishment. They say when you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life. But what if you loved where you worked and who you worked for? Will it still feel like a job? There are potential solutions to solving this issue. One being treating your employees as family is beneficial. There's an interview that was done by Knowledge of Wharton with the CEO who had this epiphany and began to see great success after changing the way he treated his staff. Another being the CEOs and managers choosing the leader of their staff wisely. I personally interviewed a friend that has plenty of experience with the effects of a positive and negative leader within the same company with the same mission statement. And lastly, employers being able to take care of their staff mentally. There is an article by Pride Staff that mentions the mental effects of overworking, especially when understaffed. Bob Chapman is a CEO of a big company and author of Everybody Matters, The Extraordinary Power of Caring for Your People Like Family. In his book, he explains how he took what he learned from parenting his first child into his leadership. Knowledge of Wharton quoted Chapman saying management is about telling people what to do, and leadership is about allowing people to do what they're capable of doing towards a common vision. So that's what Chapman did. He started taking the time to get to know his employees and the uniqueness in each of them by creating a better relationship with them. That is where he found success with not only the employees' relationship with clients, but the company was also able to retain their new employees and they were able to hire and fill new positions quicker. Megan Bacchio still works with the same company for the past 7 years, but she only loved her job for 6 of those years. I interviewed Megan to find out why that was, and she simply stated that it wasn't the company, but it was the one the company chose to lead the other staff. The leader that she worked with the first year was negative and hateful to both employees and staff. Megan said she clocked out as soon as she clocked in once they transferred to another office within the company. She instantly fell in love because of how intentional the leader was with her positive attitude and how that new lead made everyone feel empowered. Megan showed me photos to compare her experience. The top photo was within the first year of working with the company. She said that it was a photo that was posted on Facebook on a Friday to tell patients to have a good weekend. She said she had to smile when she was really just ready to leave. The bottom photo, however, is another photo to wish patients a good day, but she remembers taking that photo and laughing and enjoying her time and was actually going to miss the people she worked with throughout the weekend. The reality of employees smiling because they have to and smiling because they want to. Pride Staff wrote an article on mental effects overworking has it on employees. Some companies overwork their employees so that they can get more work done, and it's actually the opposite. They gained some of their credibility from mentioning a study done by Aaron Reed, who's a professor at Boston University's Questrom School of Business. The study was to compare the amount of work done with employees that work 80 hours a week versus a standard 40 hours. It ended up showing that there was no difference in the amount of work they were able to accomplish and showed employers there was no benefit to overworking. It only resulted in burnout. The graph in the PowerPoint shows a survey where employees discussed things that, in their opinion, would reduce burnout. The highest percentage was reducing work hours. Ultimately, after research and based off personal experience, a company's work environment is what creates the atmosphere for both staff, buyers, clients, and or patients to either want to come back or to never step foot there again. The alternative to people not making these changes and blaming society is going to continue loss of good employees and possibly close down a business.